Alright, good morning everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're at this point in time when you hear this. So I wanted to say this before it actually left my mind. So I'm up here listening to the Bible. I'm in the book of Mark right now. And I was just going through chapter 5. And it kind of confirms the dream that I was having. I had a couple days ago, but gotta tell you this. So, faith is something that we are supposed to have. We're supposed to have faith in the Lord and the things that He can do for us. Sometimes though, we forget to exercise our faith. Like when He tells us, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, that you can tell any mountain, like you pretty much tell any mountain in front of you to move, and it will be moved. So this portion, what I'm talking about, is like 3 things that I picked up on. So one is the man with leprosy, how he came up to Jesus and he's like, "Can you heal me? Like I believe you can heal me." And Jesus put hands on him, and his leprosy was filled. But Jesus like, "Don't tell nobody about this," right? God was so overcome with being healed that he still told everybody. But Jesus didn't care. He just, okay, that's fine. Well, I guess you say that's fine. He said it was fine, but he moved on to the next thing. And he comes into this new town, new city, and this man filled with a legion of spirits comes up to him and says, saying to him like, "Hey, can you get this out of me?" Sorry, I paraphrase for a lot. Says, "Hey, can you get this spirit out of me?" And when he took the spirits out of him, before he asked him, it's like, "What is your name?" And he said, "Our name is Legion, because we are many." And when he cast them out of the possessed man, they all went into the pack of swine. And the swine, ran and jumped off of the cliff into the water. And they said it was about 2,000. So can you imagine having about 2,000 spirits in you, taking control of you, your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, and everything? That'd be kind of rough for most of us. But he was healed after the fact, and he's like, "Hey, don't tell nobody." But the man that was the people who watched that happen, they went and told everybody the next day. So Jesus like, "I can't go there right now. I gotta go to the wilderness and stuff." So he brought a few of his disciples with him. And then coming back into it, Jesus goes over the water into a whole nother city, and he gets approached by a man whose daughter is sick. He says to him that he believes that his daughter is dead, and so Jesus was like, "All right, take me to your daughter, take me to the damsel." And as they're walking, and the multitude is following them, the woman that had the issue of blood, who spent all of her money on medical to have this issue fixed and not being resolved, she got desperate. But when she was hearing about Jesus, she had the faith from that desperation to believe that he can heal her. And as this woman makes her way through the crowd, she like falls down and gets the hem of his robe, and all the virtue was taken out of him. And he stopped and said, "Who touched me?" Right? And he's looking around, and he looks down and he sees her, and he's like, he kind of like, "You touched me." Just imagine a thought that he had. and she explains to him the situation of her situation that she's in, that she's facing. And he reaches down and touches her, and he heals her right then and there. And the thing about it was that happened while he was on his way to go help this man, his family. And you can see that Jesus was on his way to perform another miracle, but because this person had such faith that she fought through a crowd, that he gave her that attention to heal her right then and there. Now, as he continued on with a couple of his disciples, I believe it was Peter and John, if I can remember correctly, they go to that man's house. He was a head person in the synagogue, and they get to the house, and there's people inside the house. They're like preparing, for her death, for her being dead. Doing all their rituals and stuff like that. And you're just like, hey, she ain't dead. She's just asleep. They start laughing and basically judging him. Saying that. And he told them, all right, get out. All of you, get out. So they all left. And only the chosen disciples that Jesus brought with him, and the father, I want to say the mother was there too, watched as he brought this child out of her slumber, brought her back to life. And he charged the husband, saying, don't tell nobody of what I've done. I still can't fully understand a lot of times why he said he didn't want people to tell what he did, but I think it's just because of the humble aspect of it. He already knew what was coming anyways, but I think he was just trying to keep it humble on his miracles and working. Now, when we talk about faith, see, faith is just like courage, because you step out believing that something good is going to happen. And in desperate times, people reach out and they'll talk to God during desperate times, and hoping and believing that God hears them. So with that being said, you could be at church and going through the whole praise and worship and everything, and that one person that comes out from desperation to seek his presence, his spirit at that time, he's got to listen to, not to say he's not going to listen to everybody else, but it's like he's going to hone in on that person that has that desperation, because they're trying to exercise that faith and belief that he will do something. And it happens. It does. It does. So what the thing to say is, don't be afraid to exercise your faith, even if it's just a little bit of faith that you got. Just exercise it, and you'll be able to see what God can do in your life, what he can place in your life, what he can remove from your life, and what he can add onto your life. It really can be such a very beautiful thing. But that's what I have for today. So again, if you like these, please like, subscribe, and also if you can share, so these little bit of words and encouragement that I get can be spread to everybody else. God bless.